So today on All Day I Dream About Food, we are making keto biscotti. Biscotti is one of the first things I actually tried to make low carb, and this particular recipe for maple walnut biscotti has been on my blog since 2012. And I'm excited today to show you just how easy it is to make your own keto biscotti. So I have 2 cups of finely ground blanched almond flour, and I'm going to add Swerve sweetener. I've got about 1/3 cup. If you want yours sweeter, you can add up to 1/2 cup. We don't want biscotti to rise very much when they're baking, so I just have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a little bit of salt. Now we'll just whisk our dry ingredients together, and we're going to add some oil. Now here I have 1/4 cup of avocado oil. That makes it dairy-free, which is really nice, but you can do walnut oil, you can do melted butter. The only oil I don't really recommend for biscotti is coconut oil. It tends to make things very soft, which is delicious, but not in biscotti. And 1 egg. And then for the maple flavor, since we can't use maple syrup, we're going to use maple extract. And then you're just going to stir it and really work it in. Work the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. And you know it's ready when you can really just grab some of the dough and squish it and it holds together like this. Now, we're going to put in some walnuts. If you don't like walnuts, you can put in pecans, you can put in almonds, you can skip them all together if you like. I have about 1/3 cup of chopped walnuts. I like to chop them a little more finely because it makes it easier to cut the biscotti a little later on. And just work those in. So biscotti, of course, means twice baked in Italian. And we're going to get it ready for the first baking. The first thing to do is to gather all your dough together and transfer it to a large cookie sheet that is lined either with parchment paper or with a big silicone mat. Then you're going to shape it into a low log, a flattened log that is about 10 by 4 inches. And I like to take my little handy dandy measuring tape and see how big it is as I go along. I have the oven preheated at 325 and I'm going to bake it for about 25 minutes. When it's slightly puffed and golden, then I know it's ready to come out. So I've taken my biscotti log out of the oven, and you guys, it smells amazing in here. It smells like maple flavored heaven. I've let them cool for about 30 minutes because if you try to cut them too early, you'll just crush it. Regular biscotti recipes have you using a serrated knife and sawing back and forth. I don't recommend it with this almond flour biscotti. It can crush and break it too easily. So I like a nice big sharp chef's knife, and I just cut down in 1 single motion. You should get about 14 to 15 slices out of this, and I like to cut them on the diagonal so they're a little bit longer. You really want to cut them about 3/4 of an inch thick. Now you're going to put them back in your oven at about 250 for half an hour. Once half an hour is up, turn off your oven and just leave them inside until they're cool and crisp. You can keep an eye on them to make sure they're not browning too much. Okay, my friends, we are in the home stretch here, and you don't even have to do this step if you don't want to. But I like to drizzle them with a little bit of a maple glaze. So I have 1/4 cup of powdered Swerve sweetener here, and I'm gonna add just about 1/2 teaspoon of maple extract. Then I'm gonna drizzle in a couple teaspoons of water and mix it together. And it's a little thick, so I'm gonna add a little more water. So there we go, we've got like a drizzling consistency. You can see here, like that. And now we can take our biscotti and do the finishing touches. And you can see my biscotti here, they're nice and firm. They smell delicious. And you can drizzle it over the tops of them, or you can turn them on their sides and drizzle it that way. And there we have it, my friends. We have delicious maple walnut biscotti, and we can enjoy them for breakfast, enjoy them for snacks, or even enjoy them for dessert. Now go make yourself a big cup of coffee and dip some biscotti into it. For this easy keto recipe and so many more, check out All Day I Dream About Food.